The teams will be piped in. Scottish tradition. Team China, first of all, they've been there and worn the t-shirt, these players, as have these ones too. This is quite a moment for both teams. And they will relish every single second of this, and always such great sportsmanship and spirit of curling. So the two teams are fielding the same lineups as they did in those semi-finals. First of all, Team China, Li Nana, big player, Chen Chanxing, second player, Zhang Liang playing third, and Wan Hai Tao, big wave to the crowd. And this is the Canadian team that have performed so well, unbeaten, making history. Just check on the win-loss record though for China, just that one defeat, and guess who that was to? These Canadians, Linda Joseph, the lead, Nina Forrest at second, John Thurston, third player, and there he is, the skip, Mr. Cool himself, Mark Idison. How will they be feeling, do you think, right now, Lorna?
These teams know each other forward and back. It is last time's gold medalists. That would be China, and they are playing last time's bronze medalists, Canada. Canada have never failed to reach the podium in this event. China have won the last 2 golds. They are coming in as world champions. These are the 2 top teams in the world. They will know each other's strategies forward and back. I expect, similar to some of the other knockout games, we may see a conservative start here, and that will be due to the respect that both teams have for each other. Neither team will want to get off to a messy start. So I think we may see a cagey start off and then getting the aggressive tactics towards the second half.
And that's a passage to the final. Sweden securing the bronze medal. Yu Xingchuang looking forward to the next few hours, as will the Canadian coach as well. This really is quite an occasion. And Mark Idison, the Canadian skip, talking pre-event how much he was looking forward to playing China. Forward to playing China at any time. Just a word about the humidity. It's important in terms of the ice, maintaining that stability of temperature. And in the last stone draw, it was Canada who were the closest, so they do have the hammer in this first end of this gold medal game. Li Nana gets his final underway. Has been such a consistent performer for China all the way through the round robin and the semi-finals, and she'll be a key player today.
Absolutely, we've seen many super battles at lead, and Colinda Joseph, a hugely experienced player for the Canadian side. I am looking forward to a good battle at lead. We cannot underestimate how important it is for the lead throwers to set up the team. You quite often see the lead players almost ignoring each other in their placement of stones, setting up the end for the rest of the team. But as we thought, this is a conservative start from China, and it looks like it will be a conservative response very early doors for Canada.
Linda Joseph, first stone of this final for her. She was the alternate in Beijing.
Do it really well.
Lead here in the team.
Just got a little wide, I think.
Both teams have made use of their alternate players. They've experimented with slightly different lineups throughout the competition. It's a long journey. We started with 10 teams, 9 games in the round robin. It's a long time, so understandable that most of the teams in the competition have made use of their alternate player. Just brings some fresh energy, some fresh muscles onto the ice.
So how's this one looking for Li Nana?
She has had a very strong start here. Both teams having a few minutes practice before the game, just to learn the ice conditions, learn how hard they have to throw the stone to land in the rings or land just before the rings, and Li Nana, she has kept that weight in her pocket. That is a lovely throw, reaching the house again.
Touch more finish, but we'll see.
You see the time clocks there on your left. Thinking time for the players between shots.
It's rounded a little bit.
Each team has
second.
38 minutes thinking time. They both have a 1 minute timeout as well. You can stop the game clock, and your coach can come down to the ice for a 1 minute interaction to offer some advice. We typically see the teams using that towards the later stages of the game when every stone is crucial.
Now for China, Tian Qianqing, left-hander. Just watch the rotation on the stone here as he releases. So footwork rotation.
That little hinged piece at the end of the delivery stick, that's what goes over the handle. And as you release that, the little hinged piece, that's what puts the curl on the handle. Back in the day, before we had delivery sticks, 20 years ago or so, or even longer, you just kind of leaned an arm over the side of your chair and threw with your arm. But delivery sticks made life significantly nicer, not only for wheelchair players. If you have maybe mobility restrictions in your knees or so, then we see foot players using delivery stick as well.
Nice draw weight from the Chinese player. Now we have Ina Forrest. Well, what a story she is in the world of curling. My goodness, hugely experienced. Fifth Paralympic Games, and was a key player in that semi-final win as well. What a game that was. If we come even close to that, we'll be doing well today.
If scores are tied at the end of 8 ends, and I think there is a decent chance they could be, we will play an extra end to decide the winner.
Good draw weight in his first stone. This is a slightly different take on it. Just going to catch it. Is it going to go? Hangs on that outside edge. Not too bothered about that.
Well, that is the first loose shot we've seen this game. And importantly, is the fact that Canada have last stone here. Doesn't matter so much if Canada would hit and roll out or make a mistake, a small mistake, but importantly here is Canada now have a chance to put a second yellow into play, and then all of a sudden China, without last stone, they will be looking at 2 Canadian counters. And this sort of strategy here, this is what we sometimes call a junior 2. This is by far the easiest way of making 2 points, is put stones in the house, cross your fingers, your opposition will have a miss, put a second stone in. And at this level, you won't see people relying on that strategy very much, because you won't get many misses at this level, but it does happen. And Ina Forrest, this needs to keep going. This needs to find the rings. Well, lucky you, China. Still only facing the 1 Canadian shot.
Just not enough on that for Ina Forrest. It's an opportunity missed. Zhang Mingliang, key player in this Chinese team. Bit of a takeout specialist. Hits and rolls.
That's more like it from China. But now we have both a Chinese counter and a Canadian stone out front. So there are options here. Canada could ignore that red. It's right at the back of the rings. It's not a danger to them. They could, if they want, try to wrap a yellow around that guard. But as we thought, and I think this is, if I was a coach, I would think this is the right option for this first end. Let's just keep things conservative, keep things clear.
John Thurston. second Paralympic Games. He's played really, really well over the last 10 days. Just needs to go one step further today. Let's see how this one's looking. It's straight. It's targeting.
Hold down.
It's
You got it.
executed.
It does roll out though. And
Down.
let's see what China does.
Always good if you can't keep your stone hanging about in the counting zone.
This is maximum defensive strategy here from Canada. The other possibility was for Canada to wrap a stone round that yellow. But as we said, really neither team wanting to get in a muddle in this first end. Stones in play is risky.
Just getting it out the way and rolling into the 12-foot area. That's useful.
You will hear curlers talking about the 12-foot, the 8-foot and the 4-foot circles. That's the blue, white and green circles there.
I couldn't really tell. Okay.
Curling predating the metric system by several hundred years. And at some point,
Same ice, just where
you
just a
choose
few
a terminology.
a little bit closer.
And
higher in the
you
house.
stick to it. So yeah, they're quite often, well, there's
Those are
many
just low.
curling stones in the museum in Scotland, dredged up from the Lake of Monteith from about the 1500s or 1600s. So the game evolved a bit since then.
But potentially even earlier than that. Two monks were meant to have played a form of curling at Paisley Abbey, I think, in the 14th century. So it's been around a long time, and it's come a long way. But the basics are still the same. Take out there. Slight,
Just two different feels in that. Those are us, but I'll get them.
but 100% happy.
Both teams really using this first end just to settle into the game, just get rid of any loose shots, find their rhythm.
The fact that they know each other so well, does that help or hinder, I wonder?
I think it more helps. So you know the kind of strategy that the team likes to play. Are they typically maybe a little more defensive, or there are other teams who they love having stones in play? So I think it helps to know your opposition fairly well. They'll know these players well also, and they will know if this player prefers to play anti-clockwise handle or clockwise handle. You can really get into that level of detail.
Skip stone, but it's sailing on just a little bit here. It's biting. Allows himself a small smile. That
You like
wasn't
this
me, he
one?
said.
Okay.
If any part of the stone is touching any part of the ring, that's still
Solid
in
full.
play. And I
Like
think
that ice?
2 or 3 molecules of that red stone just still touching the rings.
I mean, sometimes just depends on the angle you look at it. Does the eye lie? Mark Idison, well, what a performance in that semi-final with
Good
his
throw,
final
Mark.
stone into this final, and he wants this gold medal badly.
Nice toss.
Gets and sticks on that outside edge. Big cheers from the Canadian support.
Good job, Margot.
They do travel to support their curling teams around the world. Not a lot of stones in play for sure, just the one. And Long Tao has his eye on this, encouraging it with the yells, as they always do. Hits and rolls out. I think we know the way this one's going.
If you've watched curling before, you maybe know what could be coming up here. And if not, it may look a bit counterintuitive. So let's see what Canada does, and then we can explain what's going on.
Final stone of this first end, Mark
Center full.
Idison. Nothing in play, nothing happening. And
Shot,
so
Margot.
it's all the way through,
Blank.
deliberately done. And the score remains the same. 0-0. No points on the board. And it's likely we're starting the game again.
We call that a blank end, and indeed that was a positive choice from Canada. They did that on purpose, and we'll talk about why in the second end.
So after the first end, it remains
See where they're at.
0-0.
If they're really good, we'll hit it. If they're back house, we'll corner.
Okay. Yeah.
And you will hear a little bit more razzmatazz between ends, as there is only one game going on in the stadium. You're not disturbing other sheets in other countries. One game, so just getting the crowd going between ends. After the first, it's China 0, Canada 0. Let's see what the options are going to be with this first stone. Is it in the house?
A familiar start from Li Nana, the ever-reliable lead thrower for China.
Look at that, right on the button.
That is a conservative start again from China, and their objective hasn't really changed. In the first end, China's objective, without last stone, is really to simply prevent at this early stage Canada from having opportunities to score big. And by big, we mean 2 or more. Now, from Canada's perspective,
Low is good too.
their objective with last stone is the reverse. They would love to score 2 or more.
Roll the other way.
They are allowed to remove that stone at this stage in the game. It's in the house and vulnerable and available.
Yeah. Yeah, nice way.
A familiar start to this second end. Objectives pretty similar. No Canadian stones in the house equals no points for Canada. So this is good strategy. China happy to play along with the defensive stuff from Canada. It's really Canada who have to make a decision. They're the ones who have last stone. They're the ones who have to dictate how the end should go. China placing a stone in the rings first of all from Li Nana, and doing a lovely hit and roll with her second throw. And that asks the question of Canada. From there, they can play defensive or aggressive stuff.
5-0.
And we saw fully defensive strategy in the first end, culminating in a blank end. Canada on purpose throwing that final stone through, because if you score points, then you give up last stone. And Canada don't want to give up last stone for the cost of only 1 point.
I think the other important thing to consider is mistakes happen, and strategy can change with mistakes, with misplaced stones, with missed stones. Even the best teams don't get everything right, and that really does add to the drama.
3-6.
Guard up, or is it?
Okay.
That is just crept into the rings, so that stone is not protected by free guard zone. The free guard zone is all the area ahead of the hog line, the thick green line that the stone has to cross to be in play, but not including the rings. Any stone touching the rings is counted as inside the rings, and that stone then from Colin de Joseph not protected by free guard zone after all.
So Chen Qing, guess what he's about to do? Where's his going to finish? It is still in play, but not in the rings. That stone is still part of the game.
Very difficult for Canada to use that stone though, so pretty much a 100% throw for Chen Jianxing there. That red towards the side of the sheet, there's a good view. No point hiding a stone behind that. You would not be in the rings yourself.
The focus of Nina Forrest of Canada.
Good throw.
even in that semi-final when they were trailing, Canada did not panic, and that's something that Ina has said she's learned
Nice shot, Ina.
how to do, how to park when things don't work out and just move on. That's 5 Paralympic
Wow, that really
experiences for you.
Yeah,
That
it
helps with
feels
that.
compared to my coming this direction.
You need to just take it stone by stone. A game like this, at the end of a marvellous competition, both teams will be in sparkling form. You won't get many misses out of either team. It will really come down to a couple of loose shots, a couple of half shots here and there, and whoever can take advantage of that best. And that is good advice from Ina Forrest. Just take it stone by stone. Be ready to switch it up if and when you can get a mistake from the opposition.
And that's exactly what happened in that semi-final. This is a whole new game, though, against the best team in the world. They're shouting, they're encouraging it, they're roaring. Is it going to make it?
There's a shot that if I could have dropped a couple of sweepers onto the ice, I know we could have swept that stone in behind that guard into the rings. But in wheelchair curling, the first thing you notice is that there is no sweeping here, and no sweepers equals a higher degree of difficulty for shots for wheelchair players.
Mark Hydson has the broom there, right beside that red stone. That's the aim for Ina Forrest. That's the actual aim initially, not necessarily where it finishes. This is looking pretty straight down that line. Hudson sticks on the edge of that broom, that 4-foot area. Big cheer from the crowd. Beginning to get a few more stones in play now. It's going to be a different end from the last one.
There is certainly the opportunity to be a more aggressive end here. As I said, that little red on the left of our sheet on our screen, that's unlikely to be important, but there are 2 more guards out front that could be.
He's wanting it to go a little bit, wanting it to curl. Is it curled enough? Hits and sticks.
Neither team finding cover though. Those 2 guards just waiting to hide a stone.
Yeah, go on there.
Yep, neither team finding the roll at the moment.
Yep, if you were standing at the other end, looking down, you will have a
more
full
than Ina.
view of that red stone in that green area.
Smooth.
There, you can see it. What that doesn't show is how long that road is to get to that stone, and how precise these athletes have to be.
It's 45 metres end to end. The curling sheet, that really doesn't vary.
I'm not giving you enough ice. Good throw.
Yeah, same result there. Neither team managing to roll.
Is that 9?
Just want it even just 3 or 4 inches to the right there behind that cover. With that red and that yellow at the top. Let's see if it happens in this one. And we know he can perform these shots. Zhang Liang. He's looking. Does he like it? It's curling. And he gets the roll in behind cover. That's what they were after. Excellent shot from Zhang Liang.
China now really asking the question of Canada. An early chance for China to put some pressure on Canada here in the second end. China, they don't need to score here. They don't need points at this early stage. But that lovely throw from Zhang Liang, that allows them to put pressure on Canada.
Tip it in. If you get a little high. But still
Well, wait.
What are you feeling? 8?
Okay.
Right on the nose.
Yeah. I think even just that hair low, I think.
Hair low.
All the action on this side of the sheet at the moment. The line is so important here. John Thurston Trying to improve the situation for Canada, using his own raise. Yeah, we saw what he was trying to do.
It was a good effort from John Thurston. He has opened up access to that red, but he has also left a stone lying around. Yeah, he really just swaps one guard for another there. And it's changed things up, but still work to do for Canada here.
As we move on to the skip stones, Canada with the hammer. They have last stone. But the pendulum swinging in favour of China at the moment. So they swap positions. Zhang and Liang at the other end with the guide.
We aim for the brush at the other end, and that is the skill of the person holding the brush. They have to put the brush in the right place, such that aiming for brush, plus curl, plus the right weight, lands on the target.
In it comes, and not just the target, it's partially hidden, and China counting 2. I definitely think the shouting helps.
I love to see the shouting from China. That's how everyone else plays curling. That's how foot players play curling. Why not the wheelchair players as well?
China really asking the question of Canada in this second end.
Run it into the back one and open that.
See you not ice?
Probably a touch more. Yeah. If we go by it, we get the one in the ring.
Okay,
right?
you want more than that, or you like that? Yeah, you do like it?
Yeah.
There is a plan B here. And he does have another stone after this one.
Center full.
So initially that stone at the...
Forget the one in the rings.
Well, he's telling us.
Got it.
Using his own. Flips it. Lovely take out.
That's a good throw from Mark Idison. He clears both the centre guard and picks the stone off that was in the centre. And opens up a nice clear path to the centre there. Difficult to do something about both reds. Important that he clears a path for his final throw. But China have a big chance here to meet their objectives for this second end. Their objective, remember, prevent Canada scoring big. And by putting a second red in here, they don't expect these reds to score points, but what that will do is it will force a response from Canada. They don't want to let Canada choose a blank end again, so to score 0 again on purpose. And that's what China can do here by putting a second red into play again. They can really force the issue. They can force Canada to take 1 point and give up that all-important last stone advantage for the cost of only 1 point on the board.
And Wang Haitao was pretty good with his first draw. Putting it into the rings and counting, so let's see where this one finishes. Got a clear pathway in, thanks to Mark Idison. It is curling. And it is just beyond the tee line. Those are going to be difficult to get. Certainly one, maybe, if Idison makes that decision.
This is fine, though, from China. Wang Haitao just getting a second red into play, really just forcing the issue with Canada.
Like that?
Yeah.
And we can see from the brush position there, the brush further away from the stones.
12.75 on that one.
Okay, 13.
The slower the stone's going, the more it will curl, and that tells us that Canada just more or less playing the same kind of
3-0,
shot
yeah.
they've just seen from China.
Yep, they're not taking any chances here. This is the best decision to secure that single point.
Sometimes you just have to accept that your plans don't quite go
Like it center to solid.
perfectly. the other team plays well, and sometimes you just have to take your medicine, and you can only score 1 point.
This is the final stone of the second end in this gold medal game from the Canadian skip.
Shot, Mark, go.
This is the stop.
Idison. Big cheers, big whoops in the Canadian team. He wasn't completely chuffed about that, but it's in there and it's counting. Just the one though.
What's that? No.
And
I early
in this gold medal game, it's now China 0, Canada 1.
1278.
All right.
15.
Short.
That's how it looks outside. Town of Cortina and Pezzo. But inside,
What you wait?
this is where all the drama is happening.
I like it. 5-0.
Glenda Joseph getting end
throw.
number 3 underway. I was listening to her pre-shot routine, and she has 2 markers on her stick, whether it's a draw or whether it's
really
a
good.
takeout, and she puts her hand in the appropriate place.
5-1.
And waits for the guidance, following the guidance from the skip, which was interesting.
I wondered what
At
those
15-1.
markers were.
Scary.
We learn a little bit each day about how each individual player approaches their shots.
All these players on the ice in this competition, they all have their personal delivery stick with their markers, depending on what shot is asked for. But if you wanted to try curling, if you're a wheelchair user or you have a friend or a colleague who's a wheelchair user, curling is super inclusive. You don't need a personalised stick. The sticks are adjustable as well, but you don't need your own stick. The curling club has delivery sticks that you can use, and you don't need any adjustment to your regular day-to-day chair. You can go along and try curling immediately.
Into the house for Lee Nana. Gone on just a little bit further than she would have liked. The guard up for Canada.
That is the aggressive call from Canada here in this third end. For the first time
On this side.
in the game, it is China who have hammer, the little icon on the graphic there. They have last stone, you call that the hammer. And for the first time in the game, it is China who have the last stone advantage, and we see Canada using this free guard zone out front. Glenda Joseph
3-2.
putting up the guard with her first stone, knowing that China can't remove it yet.
And look at this one.
And using her own guard beautifully to slip in behind.
A couple of really good stones there from the Canadian lead. And fist pump from her teammate.
If you're ever at the club curling and if you play lead and you maybe say to yourself, oh, it doesn't really matter if I miss a couple here or there, and you maybe think that it's the least experienced or the least good player who plays lead, well, watch this game and learn from that. It is absolutely not the case. Both teams relying on Glenda Joseph and Lee Nana to set them up for the rest of the end here.
Giving this some weight, Lee Nana. And it's sailing down here. Doesn't want to lose her own, and she doesn't. Excellent play from Lee Nana.
All that power for the wheelchair throwers,
Get out to it.
all coming from upper body strength. These big
The
throws.
was deal with the back one, I think.
Most of the foot players, we would use leg drive to generate power.
So
But wheelchair players, all that power
3-2,
for these
3-3.
big takeouts coming from upper body only.
Linda was just center to slightly full, so it over curled.
You can still see some of that red
It's a
from
little
the
more ice, though, I think.
other end.
Yeah, I think there's a lot, so I think we don't mind like showing a piece on this side.
Yep.
You know, yeah.
Canada choosing the aggressive tactic here in the third end. They would be pleased, very happy with Mark
throw,
Ideson's final throw there, really covering the pin. But they will be a bit frustrated that they were forced to take that 1 point. They've given up last stone advantage and only got 1 point in the board, and that probably informs
3-5.
this aggressive strategy here. They want to force the issue with China.
And in comes this stone onto that centre line, almost directly behind the other Canadian guard. That's an excellent shot there from Ina Forrest.
APL, what are we doing?
Big smiles.
I know, they're scary, eh?
Canada showing us one way of countering an attack from your opposition. We saw in the first couple of ends a quite defensive approach, conservative stuff, removing stones from play. And the other way to counter your opposition is to attack better than them. And that's what we've seen here from Canada, is try to force the issue, put stones in play.
Oh, this is looking good. Is it going to head out? Not quite. Shifting some granite, as they say. And no contact with their own.
You like that, Broom?
I'm off center
Back
a
of,
little.
back of the house, I wondered if maybe half-inch
And
more.
they're still feeling that red stone at the back is a problem.
That red at the back, that is the one that's closest. It's not that close to centre, but it is currently closer than the yellow. And again, you have the two options. The aggressive approach would be to wrap another yellow around that top guard. The defensive approach,
Max, eh?
looks like what Canada is looking for here is to take the chance now to remove that red.
Good throw on.
That's what they plan on doing.
Shot right up.
Past that top guard. Hits some sticks for 2 for Canada. A couple of good stones from Ina Forrest.
Nice shot.
If we think about overall objective in this third end, as we said, Canada happy with Mark Ideson's final throw in that second end, but frustrated that they couldn't use last stone to more advantage. And a score of 1 point to China here, so if they can get China to score 1 point with China's last stone, that would level the score. And it would be Canada with last stone advantage again. So that's a good objective for Canada, is just to return 1 point. That's often a good strategy in curling, is to just give or force your opposition to take just 1 point. And I think that's what Canada are doing.
Chen Qianqing hits and gets a slight roll. Just trading these hits at the moment.
First end.
Yeah.
Touch more Broom than 1.
Normal.
Yeah.
This is really where the expression chess on ice comes from, is you're always thinking a few moves ahead. If we remove this stone, then what would China play? And if we put stones in play, how would they respond? And if we remove stones, what will they do? You're always thinking a few moves ahead,
Nice throw, John.
and that's where the expression likening it to chess on ice comes from.
Hit and roll. And 2 stones well separated for Canada. Good, solid play.
8-8.
John
is it?
Thurston.
China have the choice again to play an aggressive call here or a defensive call. Typically early in the game, we're still in the first half. You'll see more defensive stuff. The aggressive stuff tends to come more in the second half. It's early to take a risk here.
Zhang Liang hits and rolls out.
This 3-5 was perfect.
Now we need that. The guard's a little more to the left now.
No, it's still okay.
No, they hit and moved a little to the left.
Okay.
Need a
So
little more
just
ice.
a touch more ice.
Well, you got by the garden a lot of, like, there was lots of room.
But she was
My
like,
draw.
she was dead under, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, such good communication between these players, and that's absolutely
So
critical.
3,
Everybody's listened to.
3-5. Yeah.
Everybody knows the plan, on the same page.
Nice path.
Okay.
Oh, you're a little wider.
Canada also have a choice here to play an aggressive shot or a defensive shot, and I am happy to see them. It's good for us viewers that they have chosen the aggressive approach. They could remove that final guard and give China really no chance to start building points here. And the other option is to put a second yellow in behind it, and that's what they've gone for, but this needs to stop.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy. And the line was good. Just too much. And they seemed pretty sure about the ice there.
Not a disaster, though, for Canada at this early stage. That simply means that China can go back to the full defensive strategy. That brings the blank end back into play. It could be China that we see maybe wanting to score 0 on purpose here in the third end.
But China love scoring points, don't they? They really do. Hits and sticks. And will they just even want to get one on the board just because it's good to have a one on the board?
That can steady the chip. Sometimes, indeed, you can choose to take that easy opportunity to put one on the board when there aren't many stones in play.
3 out.
And then that can lead to
I like it. Should
a
be
particular
straighter.
tactic in what would be the fourth end.
There.
Yeah.
If you score points, then you begin the next end. The last stone advantage goes to your opposition. So that can happen, that you take a good opportunity to put 1 point on the board and then try to dictate whether the next end is aggressive or defensive.
Now, the skip stones in end number 3. This gold medal game. Nothing to choose between these two teams.
Draw smart.
92.
Hits and hangs on that outer edge. Always very measured in his approach, the Canadian skip. Wang Haitao heads to the other end to throw his first stone. He makes quite an impressive figure, doesn't he?
Really the talisman for this Chinese team.
You wouldn't want to be facing him, would you?
An intimidating presence.
There he goes, with the first of his 2 stones in this third end. Down this right-hand side. Looking just to get rid of it first of all, but sticks in the similar position.
Good throw from Wang Haitao. That's quite wide, that yellow stone that he was aiming for, quite close to the side of the sheet.
Like the broom?
Yeah.
Getting ever closer to the bumper there. And throwing down a new path of ice, never easy. And that's a solid shot from the Chinese skip.
Gotta reload him.
Do you need it back?
Yeah. Good
Just
reset.
needs to readjust here. Before starting his own pre-shot routine. There's the broom placement beside that red Chinese stone. And he's eyeing that up.
Center solid.
Same again, please, for Mark Idison.
He doesn't want to lose his own.
92.
Nice shot.
Hits and rolls in towards the centre line. Crowd enjoying that one.
And that does mean objectives met for the most part for Canada. Their first objective in this third end. They don't have last stone for the first time in the game, and their first objective is to make sure that China can't score big. And they have done that. China would only be able to score 1 point maximum. And let's see if that's what they want to do, or whether they prefer to score 0 and try again in the fourth end.
Final stone of end number 3 in this gold medal game. A little wobbly on delivery there. Has it settled?
He needs to get around the guards.
What's the outcome here? Hits and sticks, so they are taking 1. Or they've had to take 1. They have 1 on the scoreboard. And it's levelled things up. He is smiling. And the danger was that guard. He was pretty close to that guard, actually. Lots of power from Wang Haitang. And after 3 ends played now, it's China 1, Canada 1. Definitely a slow burner, this one. After 3 low-scoring games so far, it's 1-1. We knew it would be tight all the way through. And number 4, we might see things beginning to move a little bit in this end. Lorna, what do you think?
We are just approaching the halfway. We play 8 ends, so after the 4th end, we will have a half-time break. And a couple of things could happen. It is China starting us off, so let's see if they are throwing an aggressive stone here or a more defensive style. That will probably dictate what happens in the 4th end. So not using the free guard zone out front, that would be the aggressive call. Li Nana getting a stone right on that 4-foot, the green circle, as we've seen her do all competition. And now it's up to Canada whether they follow that defensive lead or whether they themselves want to use the free guard zone and try to keep some stones in play.
That's max.
But there's quite
Oh, you got it.
fast stone coming from Colinda Joseph.
Curl up. Curl, curl,
That
curl.
suggests that
Nice shot.
Canada just want to keep things tidy in this 4th end. Maybe just keep the scores level going into the 2nd half.
In, Max. In, Max.
Well, they've played every which way, this team, together. They've been together a long time, know each other well. And that does count. There'll be no strategy and no stone that they haven't seen before. Second stone for Li Nana. First one into the house. And this one targeting the Canadian yellow. It's a rolls. It's beyond the centre.
Again, so important. Li Nana's making her shots as well as she is. That is typically when strategy may have to switch up. If Li Nana or Colinda Joseph, if they didn't make their shots as well as they are, that's when sometimes an end that you would rather play a bit defensively, it suddenly turns into a more aggressive situation with stones in play. So it's really credit to both lead players that they're really following instruction and executing so well.
It's a good throw.
Always lots of encouragement in that Canadian team as well. I'm sure there's the same in the Chinese team. We just don't hear it quite as well. shots and rolls slightly. Again, trading these initial hits.
It is only these two countries, China and Canada, between them have won every gold medal for wheelchair curling since it was introduced in 2006. Canada won the first 3 gold medals, and it is China who have won the past 2. That is surely informing this defensive approach as well. Both teams highly respectful of the other's firepower and not wanting to take a risk or make a move too soon.
Chen Qianqing. And that one's away. They're both away. It's 20 years since the first wheelchair curling at the Paralympic Winter Games.
2.5.
And it was also in Italy, in Turin in 2006, and Canada won that one.
It's that scary feel.
Yeah. Hogline it.
So all sorts of associations you could place with that. Is it their time? Is it time for another gold after 20 years? Can China make it 3 in a row? It's all out there and absolutely impossible to call right now. One shot at a time is the motto.
Center to slightly full.
Nina Forrest.
It's good, Ian.
With a delicate weight here, but going to be a bit of a long guard.
I'm not sure they wanted a guard in that situation, actually. I think that's a little bit over-aggressive, just given how they started this end. So a defensive start to the end, just removing stones from play. And I think that's come up a little bit further away from the house than they wanted, Canada. We see China pushing the brush straight down and telling us that they want to put a stone in behind that guard, just played by Canada. Again, China, they don't need to get any points in this the fourth end. What they want to do is pressure Canada, and this is one way of doing it, is use Canada's guard. It just came up a little bit short for Canada, and this can put some pressure on them in the fourth end.
Well, this one's looking good for China from Chen Qianqing. Is it going to make it into the rings?
I don't think so.
Despite that vocal encouragement.
Thinking 3-0.
Yeah, I don't know that I would go by that time.
Third down.
Because his 3.75.
I had you here for your corner, but we got to get around this red one now.
It's a little wider.
That enough?
That is a dangerous red for Canada.
I think so.
You feel like you could
open's
just
fine too.
blow that red and it would be in the house. So they need to be a little bit careful going anywhere near it.
Deep breath before she throws. And then watches and waits. You see the rotation and beginning to curl now.
Stay away from that red. She's done that very nicely.
4-3, Ian.
Oh, that one also coming up a bit short. Well, this has turned into an aggressive end.
Just what we thought, though. A few just slightly not quite there shots have caused that. Can China take advantage here?
Still fairly early days. We're just approaching the halfway. China, their objective, the same as it was when Canada started with last stone advantage. China want to prevent Canada scoring, and one way of doing that is to get to scoring position first, and this looks more fruitful.
Yep, they're shouting and screaming yet again. It's into the house, it's coming down just past the tee line, and it is in counting position and has protection. Really good stone from China. Zhang Lingliang, he's smiling.
Like,
You Does an excellent job of
3-0, 3.
setting it up for Wang Haito.
Yeah,
He makes
so
Wang
it's
Haito
a little
look very
heavier
good.
feel.
Yeah, Wang Haitao tends to get all the glory.
12-8.
But the guys in front of him, if they don't do their job, he can't make the shots.
It's a particular person that is comfortable throwing those last stones. The fourth thrower throwing stones 7 and 8 is not for everyone. In fact, it's not for most people, because there is such pressure on stones 7 and 8. John Thurston, I've seen him throwing last stones for this Canadian team.
Here he comes, following a similar line to Zhang Lingliang, and he's going to go just beyond it. Oh, that was unlucky. The crowd agreeing with us.
All 4. So good save.
Good effort. Just needed it to curl on top of it and be counting stone.
His weight was lovely, just not quite finding the right line. And again, China able to put pressure here. They don't need to get points in this end, China. They just want to leave reds lying around. That puts the pressure on Canada to do something about those reds. And a little advantage China here in this fourth end as we're approaching the halfway break.
And down this one comes from Zhang Lingliang again. Is past the guard. It's into the house. It's into the 8-foot, and it's into a really, really lovely position. Well, that's made life very difficult for Canada.
It's even better than his first shot. Zhang Mingliang there.
Great placement, good judgment of the weight and the line.
Where you're hitting
Like
it.
just a touch more ice than in 2.
Canada forced to react here.
They have to do something about those 2 reds now. And always a defensive idea or a defensive possibility and an aggressive possibility. Either way, Canada have a bit of work to do here. They're certainly not getting to set up an end here with last stone advantage. They're not getting yellows into play. And yeah, being forced to do something about these red counters. This looks good though. This is
John using
good.
his own excellent shot from John Thurston. Just when Canada needed it, he came up with the goods. Look at this raise. Oh, perfectly done. And no wonder he's screaming. Canada needed that.
That has shifted the momentum immediately. John Thurston, he wasn't just quite nailing his shots, but that will have cheered everybody up. And he got both of those reds moving. He's stuck in behind cover, and the remaining red is out in the open. Super shot from the Canadian third.
Promoting his own. It was the right call, but it was also about the execution.
That really sent a buzz through the crowd. You can hear the crowd really starting to anticipate some spectacular shots coming now.
But the end not over by any means. We have the skip stones now in this gold medal game, and I'm sure there'll be more fireworks before this end is over. Here it comes. Draw weight from Wang Haitao. It's into the scoring area. Is it going to count? Oh.
It doesn't quite reach that yellow, but I would call that a pretty nice insurance shot from Wang Haitao.
Bit of backup, isn't it?
It certainly takes a huge score out of play.
If we know
That yellow that's just hanging on towards the back of the sheet, the bottom of our screen,
Do you like the intern?
that won't count anymore.
I like the...
We saw it with Palinga.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
Canada currently counting one.
I think
The last
a hair
stone.
roll either way makes us a little deeper. I think it's makes his hit and roll for shot out. Not there, I think.
Did you
Seeing that for ice?
Yeah.
Less? More?
No, that's good.
Okay.
The buzz inside the stadium, you can hear it. The anticipation ahead of every shot now. Away it goes. First of Mark Ideson's stones. Looking pretty straight down the middle here. Yes, he wanted a bit of a roll, but that's decent enough.
Important is that Canada is now lying 2 yellows. Just getting it on the beak. Canada lying 2 yellows. Certainly not possible for China to remove both of them. So Canada, from a defensive start to this end, we just had a couple of stones coming short, turned the tactics more aggressive, and Canada in a nice position here to maybe score 2.
What can China do here then to stop that?
Well, first things first, you need to remove that second yellow. And ideally, we would just like to roll a little bit to the left as we see it.
Here he goes then. On Haitao. Powerful, powerful throw here down this centre line. Here it goes. Oh, and it's away.
That has over-curled.
It was a miss and a half.
What do you think we're doing?
Does allow Canada. Counting 1, as you can see, that yellow stone there.
You were 2-8. In a little more, like.
And Canada really got themselves out of a bit of a position in this end. And it was actually that throw from John Thurston that did that. They were in a right pickle.
They were facing 2 Chinese stones, and China a little bit unlucky there. They were playing aggressive tactic to try to force the issue with Canada, but that coming back to bite them a little bit. They forced the issue, Canada responded, and it is now Canada.
Final stone of
With a shot
this
for 2.
fourth end. Oh, it's going to be short, is it? Oh, that's a missed chance for Canada. A couple of mistakes in the final stages of this end. A rueful smile there from Mark Idison. Counting 1 there and looking for 2. And China will take that. Well, who would have thought that? It does happen though. And they're into the break, the 2 teams, and after 4, it's China 1, Canada 2.
Just closing up a bit, eh? Like,
Yeah, on that side of center.
I think everywhere your stuff didn't carry very well over here either.
Well, I felt like I threw a lot less on my 15, and then getting across center to see it come back was.
I'm not seeing weight on them. Like I said, I'm going to throw the same field.
Great first half. Where we want to be, you got to lead at the break. Really good.
Here is the story of Canada's first half. Some fairly solid throwing there. Remember, these percentages, they don't take into account that the wheelchair players don't have sweepers, using upper body strength, a static throw. So that's some pretty nice throwing from Canada.
And also John Thurston was only at 56%, and yet he probably had the key shot
I think we were seeing a bit of this.
of the end.
This is fine. We don't
Back house versus top house is really
take statistics as
important as far
gospel.
as how much curl you're getting.
It helps guide us to what's going well and what can be
And they're
improved.
not curling as much as they would if they were in like 9.5.
That's what the coach will be chatting about right now.
Oh, they're doing an amazing job. I'm just passing on our hit weights have been a little higher than typical, and that's helping explain why our rocks aren't curling as much.
Here's the story of China's game. Also some very strong throwing there, particularly for Li Nana. She is really setting up her team very, very nicely in these ends. They'll be looking to her to keep doing that.
Well, there were some key highlights in the first part of this gold medal game. Black 10 to start with, trying to build men number 2. China rolling 1 in and counting 2. Then final stone from Mark Idison, making sure of that single point. And a point on the board for Canada. And an end number 3. Some rolls in towards the centre line for Canada to count 1. And Haitao removes and sticks for 1. And John Thurston, what about his play? Super shot there, and he enjoyed that one. One of the highlights of the first 4 ends. His final stone from Ong Haitao, rolling out, and that allowed Mark Idison. He hoped to get this draw in for 2, but he only managed 1.
There's the overall game accuracy, and not much to choose. If anything, China a little bit more accurate in their shots, and what that tells us is indeed that Canada are making clutch shots at key times, particularly that throw from John Thurston in the 4th completely changed the momentum of that end.
And 75% for draws compared to 50%, that's quite a difference.
I think that will come to bear in the second half. It's draws these days that get you out of trouble, not hitting. It's draws that win you games. The ice is so good and so fast in this modern era that you don't really win games by hitting anymore. And I wonder if that will become important, that superiority of China with their draw weight in ends 5 to 8.
This really is the most amazing setting for these Paralympic Winter Games. That is the Cortina Curling Olympic Stadium, built in 1956. It did have a glass side and it was open air. But a really wonderful centre for all sorts of activities, ice activities. And the crowd really enjoying the action in this gold medal game. There are the numbers so far, very low scoring, as we expected in this first half. And I'm sure we'll see some numbers creep up. It ends 5, 6, 7 and 8. And it couldn't be closer. Great to see so many fans out supporting the teams and enjoying the action. And we can catch our breath for a second before we become immersed in this second half of this gold medal game. Kalinda Joseph, the lead player for Canada, gets us back underway in end number 5.
Milo is also here in the stadium.
Sit.
Oh, I didn't see him. Milo loves curling. His sister Tina thoroughly enjoyed her curling a couple of weeks ago, and Milo, she must have told him, and Milo has been at the stadium several times, and he was here for both medal games.
I think I actually saw him doing a bit of pebbling.
I saw that too. He seems to be enjoying every aspect of the game, including preparing the ice.
He had good technique.
Milo, the Paralympic Winter Games mascot, he's a stoat who lives up here in the mountains. And he represents Milano. And his sister Tina, she was the mascot for Olympic Winter Games and representing Cortina. And the pair of them have been very popular throughout.
5-5.
Okay.
So that red Chinese stone, not counting, just a couple of centimetres outside the 12-foot blue area.
Protected by free guard zone, and that's important. I think we will see both teams trying to make more use of free guard zone in the second half of our gold medal game.
What do you think the coaches will have been saying at the break? What will the Canadian coach be saying to his team?
I think the Canadian coach will pretty much be saying, yeah, more of the same. And I think, honestly, I think the Chinese coach will have said the same. Canada may have felt a little bit frustrated to leave a point out there. Quite a difference at this stage in a score of 3-1 rather than 2-1. So the coach will have been encouraging that, encouraging them to put any frustration behind them.
We've got to hope that Canada won't rue that extra point at some interval.
Well, I wonder if it may become important later.
Into the nose, right on the button here. Coming in beautifully, excellent weight, as we've come to expect.
3-0.
3-0?
Li Nana having an outstanding tournament.
3-0.
And also helpfully demonstrating for us that
I had 3
at the club,
3-3.
wouldn't you like to have
3-2.5.
Li Nana on your team throwing those first stones for you? And at the club, it's very normal for wheelchair and foot players to all play together, either against each other, in the same team. You don't even need a dedicated wheelchair curling club, even if you're the only wheelchair user. And I know people who are. You can go right along and join the team with everyone else.
Lena Forrest for Canada. Controlled weight here.
4-1.
It's coming round, following a similar line. Trying to get that one to come round onto
That's
that
good,
centre line. It's a pretty good effort as well.
That has found a good spot for Ina Forrest. Blocking access on the clockwise handle now. China will have to go on the anti-clockwise handle from the other side of the sheet. This starting to look a little bit more like a mixed doubles end with a guard out front and a stone right on the centre there. And we like mixed doubles because you typically do get a lot of stones in play. It's lots of angles getting set up.
Jian Qin. Down the other side of the ice. Encouragement, as we've come to expect from Team China.
This is the risk. When opposition, Canada, without last stone, they put a guard on the centre. And you with last stone, that's China.
Yeah.
You decide to use that guard first. Let's get to the centre first.
1275?
13.
There is a risk to that, and you can see what happens is that
My top 4.
if you don't get it right, you can end up kind of blocking yourself in with only 1 point. And we've said that the ideal when you have last stone, you don't really want to have to give up last stone advantage for only 1 point. You can kind of score 1 point whenever you want with your one last stone. But that is the risk. If you chase to the centre before your opposition can just follow you in and really cut down that scoring area so that you can't make more than 1.
Just slow on that
Ina's
side, eh?
really aimed wide there. Sidling up on that
Line would have been
centre
good if it just had
line.
more weight on it.
That's fine, no. If you're Canada, then again, a score of -1 here, so a score of 1 to China. That suits Canada very nicely. And at the moment, hard to get a second point. It's getting very blocked and cluttered out front there. And we can see China having to take almost some of the carpet to aim for.
Especially down
get
that
round.
side. So they're almost off the ice, aren't they?
Needing to borrow some more ice.
Jian Qin. He'll have learned a little bit from his first stone. Into curl after the hog line here. Is there a route in for him here? He'll be able to promote his own.
That's done neither one nor the other. He either wanted to make a space, so just catch a wide angle and just open up a path there, or he wanted to
Wider path.
catch the other angle and try to punch that red towards centre, and he's kind of done neither one nor the
You
other.
don't want to put it on the corner of this one.
Yeah. Yeah, just give me enough ice then.
Top 4.
What's your weight?
3-2.
Well, I was thinking 3-2.
Yeah.
So
I've been
it
happy
came
though,
out
Ryan,
just
so.
What's that?
I've been happy though.
Looking at the
I'm
other
adjusting
side
the other way.
of the sheet, Canada.
And that's some interesting accuracy statistics there for John Thurston. Very accurate with the takeouts, not so accurate with the draws. And as we said, it's really those draws, a stone that will land in the rings in scoring position. That's the shot that wins the games these days.
Well, let's see where this one takes him. And how's the weight on it? Is he?
This is high. This looks high.
Yep. And a big groan from the crowd as that one sails all the way
2-4.
through.
Every time.
Again,
Yeah, I got 12-1.
always so close. The margins are tiny.
China have another chance then to use that red out front.
We're going to have another go down this side. Let's see what he can do. This time, Zhang Mingliang. China have last stone. They have one in counting. Can they get another one in here? Does he like it? Well, the shouting happens, whatever. Here it is coming down now. It's looking a bit
This looks
better.
nice.
Yep. Oh, he just needed to catch it a bit more.
A brave throw from Zhang Mingliang. I really thought he had caught enough of that, and then Canada would be looking at two Chinese counters.
Slightly in.
Just needed that one to hit it a bit more full on and promote it into two counting stones for China. It's still only one.
Sigh of relief for Canada. They will have another chance to play on their own yellow out front there.
Let's see what John Thurston can do here. He knows the weight, knows the line. Definitely a bit less weight on this one.
It's heavy right there.
But it's curling.
Ice is probably close.
He's overcorrected a little bit, but that's, again, found a decent spot. Remember, for
Just adjust
the
it too
overall
much.
objective here, one Chinese point, that's fine. If you're Canada, that just levels the score. You get last stone advantage back again. So actually just blocking access to the scoring area,
Remember,
that's okay.
and remember, they do have that yellow in there, counting second stone. And it's stuck there for most of the end. China concentrating down the other side. This time, similar shot. They need another red stone to get in beyond that yellow.
He was so close with his first effort, Zhang Mingliang.
I think there's a bit more on it this time. Here it comes. It's beginning to curl round now. Oh, you've just got a feel for China almost. They've had 3 goes at that. A rueful smile.
The difficult shot they're
We need
attempting.
another one in the ring, right? It's 3-1 right now. So
Just don't want to wire it up for him.
Up. Yellowstone is becoming very precious for
Probably a
Canada
little
there
more.
in the white
Side,
circle.
we'll get side 4.
Difficult to do something about it, but if you are going to throw a gold medal shot, now is the time to do it, and there are definitely ways to get to that yellow. Not a direct
Yeah, I
path,
think
but
so. Yeah.
certainly there are ways to get to it. So Canada wisely saying we need a second yellow in there as an insurance.
You can't get shot, but
Have a second one on. That's good.
yeah.
They don't need to work too hard, Canada, to do anything about the red that's
What do you
currently
think
there.
the weight is?
Giving up one is
I'm
fine,
thinking 12.75.
but they don't want to make it any more than
really
that.
wanna be-
75?
Really want to be beat.
Now it would probably be
I think it's 13,
13,
but you know, it's just that little bit heavier 13 than when we started.
Center max.
Similar story for Mark Idison, very strong with the takeouts.
Coming down this right-hand side,
That's
similar
heavy
pathway to John Thurston.
Yeah.
Getting this guard up to block any pathway in, and that's good play from the skip.
3.9.
That stone, better too short than too long. Too long doesn't help at all, but there is still a way to get to that yellow. China thinking there is a way around the back of everything, and getting a second Chinese counter in directly here.
Will that be their favoured option, do you think?
Certainly the circus shot, you would leave that until your last throw. If they can get a second red in here, that's definitely the easier way of doing it. But if they have an opportunity to do something about that yellow with their last stone, then they may decide there's no risk to it, and they would get a hat full if they make it. But I think this is the wise choice at the moment.
Again, down this side of the sheet. Oh, it is wide, isn't it? Look at that. Perhaps a new bit of ice as well. Let's see if it begins to curl. Is it coming round? Is it coming round?
This is very
Is
nice.
it going to count? Oh, it's so close for Wang Haitao. And that was a brave, brave draw from him.
Has he got a slash on this high red one, though? I think we guard the slash.
But the slash is easier on the other one, isn't it?
Which one?
The one on the left? Because all he needs to do is...
Important decision here for Canada. They can't guard everything.
Yeah. I think we got to play with the intern.
Okay.
Time and time again, I've seen Mark Idison produce shots that you think are out of nowhere.
We got to be just like on the eye.
Yeah.
It's 5.
That yellow
Edge
is
of butt?
looking vulnerable,
Yeah.
even though it's surrounded.
Anything for weight here?
Less?
Well, I think it's 15, right?
This one curled, right?
Canada will be asking themselves,
Yeah.
with China's last stone
Like
here,
that?
A little less.
what would they be going for? And certainly with all those reds
Well, I'm
lying
just
around,
thinking that once it starts hitting
you
off
absolutely
center,
would
it might
take
be
a run
heavy.
at that little red they've been
yeah.
trying to use on the right-hand side.
Got it?
Pop that straight back onto the yellow at an angle, and you would be looking at 5, and definitely that would be a great idea for China.
So that affects what Mark Idison does here, knowing that China will do that. That's
Girl.
why this one is straight down the middle.
Just a little chisel off there.
Little chisel.
Good, Mark.
And it shifts it just out of position. Or does it? Is that enough?
Well, China not even looking on that side of the sheet, so yes it is. He's just played this stone as well, Wang Haitao, so he'll just make a small correction.
Oh, you make it sound easy.
That's a good drill, actually. If you're practicing curling yourself, just throw a stone, aim for the tee line, and then throw 1 meter more and 1 meter less, and see how easy you find it. That's by far the most effective drill to just get some work done quickly.
Final stone of this fifth end. This for 2 points for China in this gold medal game. He's played this one before. He's been down this line before. He's had this weight. Is it going to come in this time? Is it going to be enough for China? And it's not. It's not. It was such a good effort. And what a let-off, really, for Canada. China threw everything at that to try and get more than one. But it wasn't to be. That yellow stone at the top of the 8-foot did the job. There's only one. China held to 1, and after 5, China 2, Canada 2.
我说你那个点比上一个还得再小点，即使磕完自己，他能往里走，对不对？没事没事，没关系没关系。你这局还是扣了快1分，下局咱再拿也行。
And the end's being eaten up now. Another fascinating end in this gold medal contest. China getting lots of stones in play. And Haitao coming down with the draw, trying to get it to count, but that yellow did its job for Canada. And China held to 1. This is a titanic battle between these two powerhouses. Wheelchair curling. There's the numbers, very low scoring. Neither side giving too much away. And it's 2-2 in end number 6. To the drama of end number 5, the calm approach of Li Nana.
It was her stone, Li Nana, that scored that 1 point for China. This is exactly what she did in the 5th end there. And again asking the question of Canada. What do we see Canada do now? And their thinking will be informed by the stage of the game we're at. We're in the 6th end out of 8. It is Canada who have last stone here in the 6th end. And one way of thinking of that is that there are 3 ends to play, including this one. That means there are 3 last stone advantages to come. Canada may be saying to themselves, well, if we have the last stone advantage here in the 6th, if we do something with that, then China has last stone advantage in the 7th. If they only score 1 point, then we would get last stone advantage in the 8th. Both teams will really be thinking through to the conclusion of the game now. And again, just confirmation of what a good game Li Nana is having. She can be doing no more to set up her team with her stone placement here.
And she quietly goes about her business as well. You don't tend to get any of the glory, really, the leads, although they do from their own team.
Should it be that same kind of
for
feel
sure.
here, a little quick?
Well, I hope that we have gone some way to remedying that, pointing out how important it is
Nice throw.
for a lead throw to set up the end for their teammates.
Linda Joseph.
4-0.
And this is a bit of a switch up for Canada. They could have done that with Linda Joseph's first shot. They could have used that free guard zone. That means the yellow stone out front there, that's protected until 5 stones total have been thrown. Now, they could have done that with our first stone, but they asked her to remove the Chinese stone. There's another Chinese stone now in the rings, but they asked her to play a guard. So it's a little bit of a switch up tactically speaking.
Chen Qianqing.
From the tactical perspective, though, a more aggressive approach favours Canada here. As we said, there are 3 last stone advantages to come.
The second player wants to try and get this tucked in a little bit behind that guard if he can. Well separated, though.
When the dust settles from a 6th end,
Those are just low, eh?
I typically think of us as being in the home straight for the 7th and 8th ends. The path to a win for both teams from that point is typically very clear. Well, at least the The objective is very clear. How to get to it can be difficult. But I think it favours Canada to stick to the more aggressive approach here. They would like to have 2 out of the last 3 available last stone advantages.
Big weight for Mina to dispose of the Chinese stone and loses her own.
Probably lined up a little wide and came back.
And you came back to it?
Yeah.
刚才出打多吗？行。行。
China have the same question here. The aggressive stone is to put a second red in. The defensive stone would be to remove that yellow. They got caught out a little bit doing this kind of thing at the 4th end, though. They were neutralising attack with a better attack. They got caught out a bit with a fabulous throw from John Thurston.
How's this looking? Is it coming round?
That's found a nice spot.
还是没掉下来个，还出大的吗？
Edge to edge.
Nose.
You can see almost all of it.
I'd rather get nose than try to go low.
What weight did you say?
Mark?
9.
Nose are just high, yeah, normal.
Okay.
Just tells herself one last time before she throws. 9. Some rolls. Is it going to stick around? It isn't.
Exasperation for Canada.
Just
One side or the other. Yeah.
Having said, I think the aggressive approach favours Canada in this 6th end. I think the defensive approach may favour China more, but they're sticking to aggressive tactics.
两个这行，两个选的干巴死。
They want to keep putting reds in play.
二，走，
Lots of encouragement for this one.
This looks good again.
Is it going to catch the guard? Just past. It's coming round in behind that guard, tucked in nicely for China.
Both teams, they will be
3
planning
quarters
ahead.
is good.
Not only the 6th end, they will be planning ahead to what kind of objectives they'll have in the 7th, and that will instruct what kind of objectives they have in the 8th in terms of scoring. We want to score here, we want opposition to score there, and so on.
John Thurston straight down the middle here for Canada. Looking for hit and roll, and it's rolling over. That's a nice takeout as well. Excellent play from John Thurston, and the crowd know it. Spinning.
That has been his strength today. His very accurate hitting. And have China been caught out a little bit again with this aggressive strategy. What they don't want here, China, is to give up 2 points. It's getting rather late in the game to give up a score of 2. And that was why I tend to think that the defensive approach suited China better here in the 6th end. They don't mind giving up 1 point, but they don't want to give up 2.
来了，
Zhang Mingliang.
这比例上个力量稍大一丢丢。
Get down this centre line, beginning to curl a little bit now.
没问题。
aiming that same area. Is going to be counting stone. But it's out there and vulnerable.
Well, this is what you wanted, China. You kept it aggressive. You had the choice. And now a bit of danger building for China.
Yeah. You like that?
Yeah.
Curl.
Go here.
And John Thurston has his eye on that counting Chinese stone, no problem at all. Hits and rolls in towards the centre. Such a reliable hitter in that Canadian team.
Just moving away from his own yellow there as well. That's a super shot from him. And China, they've really brought all this pressure on themselves. Hats off to them for choosing the aggressive approach, but it is higher risk than the defensive approach, and they are now in a little bit of danger, and they need a bit of magic from their talismanic skip, Wang Haito.
Well, if anyone can produce it, he can. Gold medal in 2018 and 2022, led by Wang Haitao. Canada actually going for their third gold as well at the Paralympics in the mixed team event. Oh, there's big weight on this one. Huge weight on this one. Looking for both of them. Gets rid of one but shifts the other one enough. Excellent attempt there from Wang Haitao. The sheer strength to actually even move that second stone. He loves it.
You see it, Ver?
That's a confidence builder for China.
Freeze, right?
You need to back yourself if you're going to play the difficult strategy, the aggressive one. You have to back yourself,
that,
and
Ice?
Wang Haitao brimming with confidence and getting his team out of a little bit of danger there.
Less? Like that?
Yeah.
Canada facing two red Chinese
center solid.
counters. As Mark Idison is the first of his skip stones. Rather more gentle draw weight compared to Wang Haitao's.
3-4.
Is there a bit much on this? I think there is. And it rolls and rolls and rolls to that outside edge. He says.
Quick.
So the advantage very much with China right now. He rolls his eyes.
China living a little bit dangerously with their tactical choices in the sixth end, but backing it up with some very good shot play here. And with one more nice shot here from Wang Haitao, they will have completed their objective for the sixth end. Their objective is to allow Canada to score no more than 1 point here.
But if they get those stones into a decent position and Canada misses, then, well, it changes the look of everything.
That's also fine for China. They're not expecting to get points in this end, but if they pick up a point, they will adjust accordingly. They will gladly take it.
This is Wang Haitao's final stone, and just wants to make life as difficult for Canada as possible. Down this other sheet of the ice. It's coming round and now in towards the centre.
This looks superb.
And it's a beauty right at the top of that 4 foot area. Excellent draw from Wang Haitao. Now, question being asked of Canada. A really important final stone.
I don't think there's any sort of triple takeout available that would bring those 2 yellows back into play. And Canada just has to take their medicine here. They didn't take the opportunity when they had it.
Love it, buddy. Center solid.
Final stone of this 6th end for Canada. Just needs to
Shot, Marco!
make sure, and he does. Hits and sticks for 1, but only 1 for Canada. China really setting things up really well. And his miss earlier got them into a spotted bother. But a single point
Okay, I will try.
is not the worst. Into the lead
all right,
again.
set it down for
China
the
2, Canada 3 after 6.
What are we doing?
Center line.
Like it. Let's do it.
Those stones from Mung Hai Tao, those draws really effective when it mattered. Mark Idison able to secure that point with the takeout, hit and stick. Quite like that hat.
All the fans very well dressed here for their teams. Love to see it. It's an important occasion to get your best hat out.
Well, look at the numbers. All about the 1s and the 0s. The
Son of a gun.
3-2 is the score that matters right
Just when
now
I thought
to
I was
Canada.
gonna not burn any time.
You're good. You haven't yet.
Game really is on a knife edge, as we expected. We didn't expect anyone to run away with it. Not between these two. 7th end of this gold medal game. Canada 3, China 2. And this time, China with the hammer. End
good,
number
Glenda.
7. We'd hope to at least get a couple of points on the board. Centre line guard.
Bit of a picture emerging here, though. That is the second time that Canada had a very makeable chance to get 2 points and muffed it. Whereas, in contrast, China, they're executing very well, but making some risky strategic decisions. So China are executing their strategy, but maybe need to tighten up their strategy. Canada have a good strategy, but need to tighten up their shot making.
It's kind of the wrong way around for both of them, isn't it? But this draw is another beauty from Li Nana.
The finish line is in sight here. The gold medal is in sight for both teams. And from this point on, both teams will have a very clear idea of what they want to happen.
I don't think you need that,
It is
though.
Canada who are
3-2.
3-2. It is China who have last stone. So if you're Canada, what's your ideal result here in the 7th? Well, if you could limit China to scoring 1 red point, that would mean the overall score would then be 3 each, and you, Canada, would get last stone advantage in the 8th end. So that sounds like a good objective for Canada.
Maybe you do. 12-6.
And if you are China, then really you want anything except that.
That's a beauty, though, into the button from the lead player of Canada.
Nice shot.
Appreciated by her teammates. Again, on that centre line, just above the Chinese red stone. Li Nana.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Again, we saw from Kalinda Joseph there, Canada not as consistent as China, but making some superb shots when it really counts.
In this one comes 2. Bit much on it this time, but knocks the yellow out of position, and that'll do. Now, have a think about where those 3 stones are going to be when we finish this end, and how important they might be,
Do you like 1275 or?
especially the 2 on your left.
Perfect.
Both teams still have their coach interaction, a 1-minute timeout, and I fancy we may see Canada use theirs China has plenty of time left on their clock, but Canada are a little bit tight for time. They may call their coach down for some advice, or they may simply just wish to stop the clock for a minute.
Ina Forrest is co-captain of the whole Canadian Paralympic team. She's been such a fixture over the decades and loves it every bit as much as she did when she started. In comes this one. She's got some backing. And Canada counting 2. Adding another one into the mix there.
All those stones are behind the tee line, so making a little bit of a cushion there.
So plenty of scope to put ones in on top of that.
But that suits Canada as well. We saw back in the 5th end that we were, again, both teams were chasing towards the centre, and China just could not find a way to get a second point in. So same again would be fine for Canada. Even if China gets to the centre first, if Canada can just block them in, that would work.
Chen Tianjin just shifting his position very slightly in the chair before his release. And down it comes. Just past the goal, very close to the guard, targeting the yellow. Catches is his own, but it is in shot position.
The stone coming down at some pace. He did want to remove other stones. I think he wanted to remove the yellows, but again, this is maybe a little bit tactically naive from China. I don't think removing 2 yellows behind tee, that wouldn't really help you overall. It would be a nice shot to achieve, but that wouldn't really help you with your overall objective here. You would still just have a whole bunch of stones behind tee line.
Would it have been better just different weight and just tucking one in there?
That's what I expected from China. I think none of those stones behind tee are important to them finally.
Because this looks like what Ina Forrest is going to do.
Go, 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 go.
Just needs it to go, absolutely.
Okay. You
That's fine.
Yep.
Promoted on the other side.
I got
A shot
3-7.
behind tee
Just a little
is
slower
of
in
limited
that
use,
line,
but
that inner line.
any stone ahead of tee line, where Ina Forrest has found a spot there, that's always a danger. That's a stone that can block the path to centre. That's a stone that Canada can use again to punch forward. But those stones behind tee line, I think China were getting a little bit tempted by seeing those reds, wanting to have a whole bunch of reds lying around, but a bunch of reds behind tee not going to help you in this setup.
And I think he's changed plan here. Following the line of Ina Forrest in here. Wants this in and above the others.
This is more like
This
it.
is good. And just touches his own. Counting 2.
And
Good
doesn't
draw.
that suddenly look nicer? Here comes the red. And that red now protected by a nice wall of stones behind it. That red going nowhere
Yeah, the button's open.
for at least 2 stones.
Maybe problematic for Canada.
What's the weight?
13.
You can hear the buzz going around the crowd again as we reach the
And Ina
conclusion of
just
the
a
gold medal
little
game.
tight.
The crowd starting to feel, could this end be decisive here?
13.
Might we see more than 1 point?
It's turning into a bit of a mixed doubles end again, like it was in the 5th. Both teams chasing towards the centre. And just like in the 5th, it is China that got there first. But will we see a result like in the 5th, that China just could not get a second point in there?
Right, here's John Thurston for Canada. Putting another stone into the mix here.
Oh, that's a good shot, John.
It's looking tasty. It's looking very tasty indeed. Nudges the other red out. Curling in on top of that Chinese yellow.
That's nice from Canada. Now it's the yellow. Doesn't matter too much at this stage who's lying short, actually. I think it may even still be red. Could be worth a measure. But important, that yellow is in such a safe position, and I think China very wise.
Have called the timeout. They'll have a word with the coach. This is a critical time in this end. They're right in the middle of that. What would you do here?
Well, I'm sure we will hear the coach talking about the overall objective. Let's listen in to what she says.
谁进现在？
我感觉好像像咱进，
咱进。
是不是啊？咱进你往他脑，
打了一个这边打一个。
那你就不打了，那我觉得你就旋粘，旋粘不行，力量小，你停上边。
粘人轻轻一磕，他
不定啊，你停上边完了，咱往里挤啊。
停哪位啊？
咱们进。
教练，我觉得打这个不行，停哪位？小了，啊？
咱们进。
我觉得
那你这边你也不能纯站位。
我这不是，我说你打这个，把这双飞找不开，不站位给我蹦开呢。
不行不行，太难了，太难了。就往里粘，就往里粘，把点缩一点，就往里粘。粘甲，小了前边能往里磕。
咱第二分咋得呀？
把球停上面，那你现在往哪投？对不对？
咱还有仨球现在。
对呀。
你解开了之后，
你停上边，然后往里传。那你就踢开吧，踢开。
怎么踢啊？
站位，站位。
那你是踢？
咋踢呀？这人家一磕就还就接。
对呀。
If I was Chinese coach, then I don't speak Chinese, but the kind of advice I would have offered would be along the lines of, we need to remember our overall objective here. Canada wants us to be able to score only one, so we need to be able to score either more than one or blank an end, a blank looking highly unlikely here. And in that case, I've still got plenty of stones if I'm China. I've got 4 reds to come.
Yeah, it's not as if it's final stones yet. There's an awful lot can still happen. And an awful lot of stones still in play.
And they could do be getting on with this now, China. It's not a matter of not having time. They just don't want to disturb their rhythm too much. I think they need to...
that yellow just on the cusp of the button there.
They need to do something about that yellow that Canada just threw. They need to create some space. So this time I actually do favour coming down at weight for China. I think China needs to not get too precious about all those stones that are behind T. They are unlikely to be able to help. They have 4 stones left, China. They have 2 or even 3 stones to make a space. What they don't want is to get trapped in there and only score 1 point. That is really Canada's objective, is to try to limit them to 1 point.
So we're going to see some movement, whatever happens, from Zhang Mingliang. He's back up the other end, getting ready. The second throw. And the buzz of anticipation in the stadium.
The other choice would be to remove that centre guard. That would open things out immediately, open up some different angles. Sometimes, and you see this sometimes in mixed doubles as well, you can get a bit too focused on chasing towards the centre.
So all the chat beforehand. The throw.
The last thing you want is this to come short.
That wasn't the plan at all. He'll be really disappointed with that. Still plenty of stones to go.
They're starting to look a lot though like the 5th end. China had a good stone in the centre, but they could not get a second stone in for another point.
Just move it slightly.
Hard to tell even. whether it's yellow or red, currently lying shot position. If it stays like this, we may get a measure.
I don't want Canada to disturb things too much. They're in a good position here. Following the line.
Ben.
Zhang Mingliang.
Ben.
A bit more on it, obviously.
Get in there.
Here it comes, coming round. Just wanted to make their situation better. Nudges it. Look at that. Such delicate play from John Thurston. He loved that, and why not? Look at this coming in. Raising his own and nudging the red out of the way. Excellent curling. The most delicate of play. Canada looking very good in this end now.
Danger all over the place now for China. Technically, their best shot would be to probably just follow that stone just played by John Thurston.
And they could have done with Zhang Liang making that last shot. It's going to make things move this time for sure. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. What a shot from Zhang Mingliang. Gets his side right back in this team. Well, just when you think there's no way, here he goes.
Around the clock from Zhang Mingliang. That's not the first one we've seen either.
Just finalize the broom before
The crowd
you're
getting
ready to
their
throw.
tickets worth today. They've picked a superb game. And what a game to close our curling activities at Paralympic Winter Games. A worthy final.
What do you think?
Canada reassess.
How much time we got?
We have like 7 minutes. Yeah. 6.
I like it.
Okay. 12 and a half?
Yeah.
Well, look what's
What'd you
happened
get on my
though.
last line?
We had a
What'd you
big
have on
hit
John's last?
from John Thurston.
Last was 12-2.
We had a
12-2.
big hit
You like
from
the ice?
Zhang Mingliang. And all of a sudden,
His bent.
there's a lot more space for both teams in that centre area. So those two shots both looking pretty fancy. But good overall. Have helped China here. They were getting in quite a pickle in the 7th end. Far too many stones on that 4-foot green circle.
Zhang Liang really saved them there. He really did. Skip stones in this. Oh, 7th end.
Okay.
That was not what was ordered.
Gotcha.
It's found a very happy spot though for a plan B.
Inside it.
It's blocked somewhat, largely, the path to the centre on the clockwise handle. And there is a very nice plant set up there, that red and yellow right next to each other. That yellow goes straight back onto the shot stone.
High tongue. Heads up the other end.
Yeah, they can't guard everything. Can't guard everything here, China. But the most obvious throw for Canada with their last stone in 7th end is to take a run at that red. It will immediately connect with the yellow, and that goes directly back onto shot stone. So that is the danger. That's what China need to stop happening.
So many stones in the house. The ones towards the back, though, you can largely discount, except perhaps as backing stones. But even then, it's all about what happens around that 4-foot area. Long high toe. down this left-hand side. It's creeping over the hog line into a guarded position.
Canada, I think there's a gap through though. They think they can thread that needle and still reach. Red onto yellow here.
It's just, I think he can hit it anywhere, but just don't want to be on to that one.
I would not bet against him making this by any means. I've
Just
watched a
see it
fair bit of
rise.
Canada over the
There.
last few days. China can only watch and wait. Mark Ideson's final stone of end number 7, the penultimate end. Here it comes, it's through. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, so close. We were watching that, weren't we? We didn't think it would catch that guard.
Molecules it touched by.
So China didn't think there was a way through there. They didn't go for it. Oh, he could only hold his head.
行，
So China still
加油，这儿
counting
没
one
事
here.
你放点那4。
What can they, more can they generate?
There is a direct path to the forefoot on this anti-clockwise handle.
And look how wide the broom is.
不好先生。
Watching.
Green plus curl equals target, and target here is that green forefoot circle.
打！这点行吗？
To just
加油
gives
哥，
them
加油哥！
放了一点，来吧。
a bit of better odds in that final end without the hammer.
那我出手大点啊。行。
Final stone of end number 7. China already counting 1. Can they make it 2?
小线，
Here it comes.
小线我的掉。
And it's going all the way to the back. Well, the tension mounts. It looks like it is only 1 for China. That was a chance missed, and it's 3-3 going into the final end of this gold medal game. All to play for in end number 8, but significantly, Canada have the last stone.
这局就是进攻，2个站位完了就往里旋就行。
This was the shot of the end from Zhang Mingliang. Canada unable to get one in and counting. Missed by the skip. And then Wang Haitao just too much on this. And off it goes. And it is only 1 for China to square things up. 3-3. All about the ones. And that score, China 3, Canada 3. Final end. Who will win the gold medal? The odds slightly in favour of Canada with last stone. We haven't seen any steals in this game.
Li Nana, she has such a super game, and critical that she sets her team up exactly right in this 8th end. They must use free guard zone really with both of her stones. They need to take a deep breath. Canada will probably try to use that guard first, but they need to take a deep breath and use free guard zone to its fullest.
And is right on that centre line.
Got it. Tight ice.
actually. This could be the first time that we've been looking for a tick shot.
Get it.
They wanted it to curl and it hasn't. And it's all the way through. Just looking to clip that. Not put it out of play, but just clip it.
Oh, it was good. It was very good.
The red of China. It is protected by free guard zone, but you can move it around. And Kalinda Joseph, a very difficult shot she was asked for. She just wanted to touch the yellow enough to move it away from the centre. Sorry, touch the red to move it just away from the centre and keep that centre path open. It's a decent effort from Li Nana. She doesn't really want her two stones so close together. That means it's easier to remove in one throw, but as we said, very important is that China use free guard zone to its fullest advantage, and Li Nana has definitely done that.
Will Kalinda try and shift them slightly? Or will she try and get something into the house?
That is the other option for Canada at the moment. They know that China will be aiming for the centre. Both teams have to score 1 point, but how they do it is rather different.
Yeah, she wasn't happy with that one either.
That is exactly not what Canada needed. If you are going to race to the centre first, you have to get there. To understand this end, let's think ahead to the final stone. If you're Mark Idison of Canada, your ideal situation when you come to throw for the gold medal is nothing at all. You would like a nice clear path with no stones in your way and just land a stone right on that Paralympic logo. That's your ideal situation. If you are China, you also need to score 1. But you don't have last stone. You won't have the final throw of this gold medal game. So how do you get 1 point? Well, exactly as we've seen, you want Li Nana to put 2 safe stones in free guard zone that Canada not allowed to take out of play. And then you want to wrap a stone around the back of it. And you want to block that clean path for Canada. You don't want Mark Idison to have a clear path to centre, and you want to get there first.
So Qian Chin joining that merry band of red stones in the guarding area.
That's the right tolerance for that shot. A stone that's too long, we can't use that anymore. Short stone, that's definitely the tolerance. Stones out front helps China. And to that end, Canada have called their timeout, and their coach will be on his way to offer advice.
You can't remove anything.
A lot of granite up there.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, and you're only going to get 1 anyways, aren't you?
We might get 2. Like we could probably get the red into the yellow and the yellow coming in, but
I think we're kind of into it right here. Like it's probably just like the draw coming around. That was a 14. It's about halfway, probably would have been halfway tight.
Yeah.
We caught early though. I think we can get a slightly better ride if we're out to it. Just draw top 4 and then
game on.
I think it's like the draw we were seeing here though, like it was 12.5 to start until you got a few rocks down, and then it was closer to 13.
So you're probably like a 12.5, 12.8?
12.5.
Yeah. 12.7. This double peel on these reds here eventually might relieve some pressure in the middle for us.
Which ones?
This right in the middle. I like saving it for John though, if we can play it. Like the double peel on the top red on the right here.
Thin?
Like 3/4 high, trying to get both of those going in this direction.
3/4 high.
Yeah. But I might save it for John. Try to get one in first before we do that.
Okay,
12.5?
Yeah.
12.5.
So coach interaction is finished for Canada. And we've noticed that China have been playing with fire a little bit with their tactical decisions, living a bit dangerously.
12.5 would be a good range.
And typically in curling, there's no such thing really as the right or wrong shot. What you have are tactical decisions that either increase or decrease your risk of scoring points. Canada then, a couple of options available. They could try to start clearing a path to the centre, or as they did before, they can try to get to the centre first and clear the path later. This is the higher risk decision here.
And it looks like that's what they're doing. But it might also be based on what they think China's going to do. It's coming around. And a decent enough effort.
Give it a good go, Ted.
There is space for China to follow, though.
行。
Chen Jianxing, he has a chance to make a huge difference in this gold medal game.
Just remember, it's 3-3. It is only 1 point, one winning shot. That's all that matters. And if you're Canada, you don't want all those stones out in the front like that.
Canada chose the higher risk approach here after that coach interaction. If I was Canada coach, I would have told them to hit for home.
Chen Jianqing following Ina Forrest line down this right-hand side. Into the 8-foot area. It's not counting stone.
Importantly, though, that stone is ahead of T-line. That stone far more dangerous because it's ahead of T-line than the yellow that's behind T-line. The yellow can only get further away. That red, so just a little push, that can get closer.
I had 12-4 on theirs.
So that stone could be very useful later on in the end. And it really comes down to it. Still got quite a few stones still to go in this gold medal game. It's the final end. It has to be over after this end.
Okay.
No extra ends. This is it.
I like 3-5.
Okay.
This feels weird.
Following instructions here, but let's see how it develops.
Getting a good ride out there.
Doing the same as she did before.
3-0.
Ina Forrest is going to hit the paint.
She did not want to be any closer to that dangerous red, that's for sure.
Oh, it's too close, though.
This anti-clockwise handle, this is wide open for China.
That's route one here. And it's this man, Zhang Mingliang, who doesn't really miss too much.
What a hero he will be. If he can get that critical shot right on the centre here.
It's beginning to curl now. Beginning to curl. It's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. Oh, and it is. It's in there. It's counting for China. Such a good effort from the third player. And it is counting.
We heard the Canadian coach say he liked going all in. Well, this is what happens.
What was the weight on theirs?
You need to get it right.
I missed it.
We got 11.8 and 11.5.
So I'm thinking
12-2.
First one down there,
Again,
right?
keep
So-
emphasising, Canada still have final stone. And that final stone can't be too difficult with all the pressure on.
We said at the first stone of this end, Mark Ideson's ideal situation, well, his ideal situation is he doesn't even need to throw his last stone. But his ideal situation to throw is to look at nothing at all.
Not even close.
His ideal situation is the reverse of what is building up here.
And that is away from John Thurston. And is it
11-6.
slipping away from Canada? China sitting pretty in the final end of this gold medal game.
行吗？
And they'll have another go down that left-hand side. They know the line, he knows the line, he knows the weight.
稍收一点儿。
They've been training at this stadium for months and months. They know the ice. How's this one looking?
He needs to keep going.
Here it comes. Is there enough on it?
He's made a great adjustment.
The weight.
Keep it moving, keep moving.
That'll do. That's enough. That will play a part.
That has blocked access. Well, it's blocked easy access to the red. That red just hanging on at the back of the forefoot.
What do you see?
That's currently closest.
Okay.
And the red, second red from Zhang Minliang. That
think
has
it's gotta
blocked the
be a
direct
poor
access.
peel.
Yeah, there's still a way round. But they're going to have to go really wide.
Okay.
Can they promote something?
Might give us a shot.
Okay.
It is really rather late at the end to decide you need to remove these guards. You could have done this 4 stones ago.
It's still paving the way for potentially that last stone of Mark Idison, though. But meanwhile, China will create more issues and more problems for Canada.
That's a stone that kind of looks flashier than it is, really.
It's helped a little bit if you're Canada.
You are just giving China the chance to do it better this time, though. That direct path is now open again.
加油吧！
And China will have another throw at their ideal spot here is tucked in behind all that cover, right ahead of the tee line.
And you can feel the tension building, you can feel the atmosphere, the buzz, the anticipation as we get to these skip stones in this 8th end. 3-3, the gold medal
这
game.
行，
Wang
来
Haitao,
了，来了，
Pyeongchang, Beijing, Paralympic champion. This is dragging itself along a little bit, isn't it? Touches a 12-foot. So blocking.
He did want that closer, though. He's definitely left some space for Canada.
What a final end this is turning out to
Go
be.
Marco! What do you see for Brew?
A little more.
There?
The time clock's just ticking
I
down
actually-
there on the
I don't
graphic.
know, I'm just going to feel it.
Canada have enough time, but not lots.
Yellow weight, buddy.
And the weight here needs to be perfect.
Center full.
Mark Idison with the first of his 2 stones. Trying to take the pressure off even just a little bit. Oh, this is coming in. It's coming in quite nicely. It's not enough, though. Or is it? Is it enough? Oh, my goodness. There's a smile. And it is counting stone. Enjoying the moment under huge amount of pressure there.
I think that is yellow lying.
他的印。
没事，拿这个传呗。
China just need one in there and counting, right in the middle. How do they do that?
11秒5。
Too dangerous to play that path that they have been playing on the anti-clockwise handle. They now need to come back to the clockwise
放点吧，
handle.
你得传外脚。
快快点，这点。
我感觉你挂这儿正着下也比他近，是不是
？11秒。11秒，行。
Tell you Wang Haitao needs to play the shot of his life now.
这点行吗？
小啊，
你得打外脚吧？
对啊。
外脚，我放点来。多放点吧。
多放。
This shot here really tells us that China also acknowledged that it is yellow that is currently closest. If that were not the case, we would surely see them just try to guard that path entirely. Plenty of time, China. But don't lose the rhythm. They need to just go down and throw it.
Well, he's played every shot in the book, Wang Haitao. This is the one that really matters now. Canada are in and counting and have a stone to come. Final stone for China. And Wang Haitao down this right-hand side. Is it beginning to curl? Avoids the guard. Ah, and it's away. It's away for China. Disappointment, but that, of course, means that Canada don't have to play their last stone. They're watching and waiting. They're just checking which one is counting. It looks like yellow.
Like, it's
from this
measurable.
angle.
I think it's us. You want us to nudge it?
Should we hit it? Kidding.
No. No, we don't hit it.
You go look, Mark.
We only have a minute left.
We don't have a timeout.
If we run out of time, I'm just to throw it away anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw it away.
Are we good?
Is it our shot?
I think so. It's measurable though. Like
I'm not throwing it anyway.
So I had you there.
What drama in this final end?
No,
I'm not throwing it. I'm just throwing it against the board.
Chuck it away.
Throw it away?
Yeah.
I like the tap.
You need to do something, Canada. If you run out of time, you will lose the game.
I don't know. I think we are, but we got to
He must release the stone before the time runs out.
If that clock gets to 0, it's China's game no matter what.
12 and a half.
They need to get on with it, whatever. It looks very much China looking at the clock. He needs to release it, and he does. With seconds to spare.
We're going to be shot now.
Oh, Marco!
Is coming in. Is he going to nudge it to make absolutely certain? And he does! What a final throw for Mark Idison. And Canada are the Paralympic champions for 2026. What a finish to this game. They have secured the gold medal in a titanic tussle against the People's Republic of China. And you couldn't have scripted that ending. Look how much it means to them. Unbeaten throughout the whole competition. And the Canadian fans are going wild, and why not? Fantastic finish. The drama, the tension, it was all there, wasn't it? Big smiles for Canada. And they had the clock against them. But Mark Idison, what about him pulling that out and making sure of that tap 100%?
They really chose the difficult path in that 8th end, Canada. They were awfully close to paying for it. But indeed, Mark Idison backing himself, throwing the winning shot with his first throw actually, but making absolutely sure with his final throw.
You've got to feel for China, what a part they played in this gold medal game, as we knew they would. Silver medal for them. What a proud record they have. Last 2 Paralympic Games, gold, now a silver. These 2 teams really have dominated. Canada more so in the past, but they're back. They're absolutely back. There we have the final result of the gold medal game. China 3, Canada 4. What a feeling that must be. All that work, all that preparation. And this tap, just to make 100% sure. I'm pretty sure the last one was in and was counting. But just to make sure, in it goes to secure the gold medal. And there is Mr. Cool. He made it look easy, didn't he? Under all that pressure. And they'll enjoy this for a long, long time. Stadium absolutely awash with red and white and the maple leaf. The flags are lifted. Gold to Canada, silver to the People's Republic of China, and bronze to Sweden, who defeated the Republic of Korea in the bronze medal game. And the standard of curling was excellent in terms of the drama. What about those stats, Lorna?
Good throwing from Canada. Earlier on in the game, it was Canada who were making the good strategic decisions, but maybe not quite executing. We had a couple of loose shots earlier on, but Canada got stronger as that game went on. And I thought so. Actually, the statistics from China, their overall throwing probably a bit more accurate, but a couple of tactically naive decisions really from China, and not quite punishing Canada for their tactical decision in the 8th there. And that's something for China to learn for next time. But Canada took the risk. It is high risk, high reward, and they have the highest reward of all.
They have that gold medal, and they will be presented with it this evening, and we'll be staying with you for that. Victory ceremony coming up, but right now they are milking this moment, and why not? So many friends and family and supporters have made the trip from Canada to support this team. We've been through so much together.
A super game for everyone in the audience to close the Paralympic Winter Games wheelchair curling event. It's just got better and better. We had some absolute zingers in the round robin. But there is the overall accuracy, as I thought. It is China who were actually better executing, but a couple of tactically naive decisions earlier on and not punishing Canada for a tactically dangerous decision in the 8th. Canada, that story telling us that Canada were making the clutch shots when it really counted.
such a close game, as we knew it would be, and it did come down, well, to the penultimate last stone. And that's the semi-finals, and the gold medal and bronze medal confirming those who were involved. Canada, China in the gold medal game, Republic of Korea and Sweden. Canada victorious throughout the whole competition in the mixed team event. That in itself is a fantastic achievement. And then to claim the gold medal at the end of it, well, it just doesn't get much better than that. And good to see Gilbert Ash there, the alternate, very important part of the team. I'm told he's the funny one, the light-hearted one, keeps everybody going.
They're playing good stones throughout this week as well, Gilbert Dash. Most of the teams using their alternate player, mixing up the lineups a bit to keep fresh muscles on the ice.
Oh, and they'll watch this so many more times, won't they, Canada? As it taps into that gold medal winning position. And the screams out loud. All in a day's work for Mark Idison. Tremendous to see the joy on the faces. And he will be thinking of those final couple of shots, I'm sure.
Hey, everyone at home. Love you guys.